Hi, my name is Martin Pineda, and today I will be talking about unemployment during a pandemic. Nearly 22 million Americans have filed for unemployment, and due to this pandemic, the whole world is suffering. Unemployment can be a slippery slope, and it's something that we need to monitor very closely. I have read many articles in scientific journals such as For the Newly Jobless, Hope Relief is Hard to Find, What to Do If You Lose Your Job Now, and Into the Economic Abyss. And I have formed a deep understanding about this topic. Today I will cover the major current unemployment rates. Secondly, why there is so much controversy over the COVID-19 pandemic, and also the effects to reduce the spread of the virus. Let me start off by saying that the rise of unemployment has been the highest we've ever seen in America. It triumphs the previous record set by the Great Recession. Quarantine has limited our options socially and economically. To protect everyone must practice social distancing, which provides us to stand 6 feet apart from each other to help flatten the curve of the COVID-19 pandemic. Yet, this distancing is severely limiting our growth as citizens and our movement. And this is also, and the COVID-19 has affected almost 2.5 million people worldwide and counting. According to Daniel Bortz in the article What to Do If You Lose Your Job Now, written April 10th of 2020, according to Moody's Analytics, nearly millions of jobs are at high to mid-moderate risk of layoffs due to the pandemic. At least 21 states have suspended the requirement to look for work due to COVID-19, and at least 19 states, including the hard-hit California, New York, and Washington, have cut off the 1-week waiting period for the stimulus check benefit. Now that I've talked about the staggering statistics of the unemployment rates in America, I will now talk about the controversy of the pandemic. According to the article For the Newly Jobless, Relief is Hard to Find by Alma Samuels, the $12,000 stimulus check is not enough and is ignoring America's neediest. Many families who lost their jobs because of the pandemic must worry if they are able to pay, to feed their children and able to pay for the proper care. For example, Brandel Cook, a 34-year-old who lives in rural Missouri, who takes care of a mother and a sister while also paying for utilities, paying for gas, electric, for food, and for student loans. And he worked for a movie theater, and for his final paycheck got $67. And now for this pandemic, Brandel Cook will fall into debt, unfortunately. According to USWatch.com, it states on March 18th, all 50 states of the United States were reporting cases of the COVID-19. The widespread pandemic fuels the fires of fear that drove many to flee the stores and stock up on hand sanitizer, disinfecting wipes, and oddly enough, toilet paper. Within the U.S., governors state that several states issued a stay-at-home order or quarantine, which requires people to stay at home to reduce the curve of COVID-19. And New York Governor Andrew Cuomo even offered for the Army Corps to come in and set up field hospitals for patients of COVID-19. So far, I've covered the staggering numbers of unemployment. Secondly, I've talked about the fears of COVID-19 and the reactions of the public. And finally, I would like to talk about the economic and social backlash that this can cause. According to Into the Economic Abyss, written by Jason Kirby, there are many ways that the economy can be affected. For example, a massive rise in unemployment can mean that won't be buying houses. Realtors won't be able to sell houses to people who won't be able to pay for a mortgage or won't be able to pay for rent. So people won't be selling and people will go homeless. Since people won't be able to pay, since they're unemployed, necessities are needed to won't be able to pay for necessities needed to stay safe. Even after all the illness subsides, it'll take about a year to 6 months for the economy to fix itself. As long as the COVID-19 cases continue to rise, for the first time we are seeing that the economies, we are basing the economy on analytics based off of the COVID-19 pandemic and forecasts, which are very limited and unsure of where they're headed. If cases of coronavirus continue to spread, the economy will suffer, and it's too early to think that another economic recession will occur due to the massive unemployment. Yet families must be prepared for the worst, and policies must be put into place to help fund the economy as well as protect its citizens. In conclusion, the COVID-19 pandemic is a serious topic that deserves to be respected, and for the safety of others and to bounce back from this economic slump to ensure a prosperous and healthy future. Now that I've explained the severity of everything, it's clear to see that the complications of this pandemic are greatly affecting the world. And if we're not careful, we could end up in another economic depression.